Title: The Empty Highway. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desolate highway. Sarah gripped the steering wheel of her old sedan, the dashboard lights flickering ominously. She had been driving for hours, the monotony of the empty road stretching out before her like an endless abyss. The gas gauge hovered dangerously close to empty, a fact that had been gnawing at Sarah's nerves for the past hour. She had passed the last gas station what felt like an eternity ago, and now she was paying the price for her negligence. She scanned the barren landscape, hoping against hope to spot a sign of civilization. But there was nothing. Just miles of scrubland and darkness. Sarah cursed under her breath, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew she had to find gas soon, or risk being stranded in the middle of nowhere. She pressed down harder on the accelerator, willing her car to go faster, to outrun the inevitable. As if in response, the engine sputtered and coughed, the dashboard lights flickering wildly. Sarah's stomach dropped as the car shuddered to a halt, the engine wheezing its last breath. Panic set in as Sarah realized the gravity of her situation. She was alone, stranded on a deserted highway with no one to help her. She fumbled for her phone, praying for even a single bar of reception, but there was nothing. No signal, no lifeline. She stepped out of the car, the chill of the night air sending a shiver down her spine. The darkness seemed to press in around her, suffocating her with its silence. She looked up at the sky, searching for the comforting glow of stars, but even they seemed to have abandoned her. With a sinking feeling in her gut, Sarah realized she had no choice but to start walking. She didn't know how far she was from the nearest town, or if there even was one. But she couldn't stay here, stranded on the side of the road like a sitting duck. The sound of her footsteps echoed in the empty expanse, each one a stark reminder of her isolation. She hugged herself tightly, trying to ward off the chill that seemed to seep into her bones. Every shadow seemed to come alive, whispering sinister secrets in the darkness. Time seemed to stretch and warp as Sarah trudged on, her mind playing tricks on her in the absence of stimulation. She imagined all sorts of horrors lurking just beyond the reach of her flashlight, waiting to pounce when she least expected it. And then, just when she thought she couldn't take another step, she saw it. A faint glow in the distance, like a beacon in the night. Hope surged through her veins as she quickened her pace, the distant light growing brighter with each passing moment. As she drew closer, she realized it was a gas station. Relief flooded her as she stumbled towards the building, her heart pounding in her chest. She pushed open the door, the bell above it jingling merrily in the stillness of the night. But the inside was just as empty as the outside. The shelves were bare, the pumps long since dry. Sarah's heart sank as she realized the cruel truth. She had been led here by some twisted trick of fate, only to find herself even more hopeless than before. She sank to her knees, tears streaming down her face as the full weight of her situation crashed down upon her. She was truly alone, stranded in the middle of nowhere with no hope of rescue. And then, just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, she heard it, a soft rustling sound, like footsteps approaching from the darkness outside. She froze, her breath catching in her throat as the noise drew nearer. With a sinking feeling in her gut, Sarah realized she was not alone out here. Whatever had led her to this forsaken place was still out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting to claim its next victim. And as the sound drew closer and closer, Sarah knew that her nightmare was far from over.